Our coverage of the Scouting Combine continues here from Indianapolis. Joining us now, Miami cornerback
Keionte
Scott, a.k.a. Zip.
What up,
a.k.a.
Zip?
Agent Zero.
Damn.
Do you prefer Zip or Agent Zero?
I got to go Agent Zero. That was a gift from my Coach Cristobal, so I got to keep that one.
The coach gave you that one.
Yeah.
You go, all right, I'll wear that one. And
Yeah.
he did wear number 0. But, so where'd the Zip come from?
Zip is more so like for my teammates. You
Right.
know, so I'm like short for Zero, so like Zip. And then also, I pride myself on being able to lock things down. So,
Oh, okay. So
zip
Zero's
'em
like
up.
zip,
Yeah, zip 'em
nada.
up,
You're not
nothing.
getting anything.
Nothing. Yeah.
All right, that's a good one. I actually really like that, man. I might make that stick in your NFL career here.
I
Okay.
appreciate that.
You better get drafted to a team that has Zero available, or it's going to cost you a little money.
To be honest,
get Zero.
I want to get in there first, man. I ain't really worried about the number. We were at 58 if we have to.
Right. How did you end up in Miami? I mean, Miami is such a team where it feels like there's so many South Florida guys and
Yeah.
just people from that region. You come from San Diego?
Yeah.
Right? How did that all work out?
Yeah, I definitely think like the long journey for sure. Having to go JUCO out of high school. Having a learning curve in there. Having to learn how to do my process the right way and handle the business off the field. And as far as the classroom goes, and then you go to Auburn and you thrive there for a little, and then you hit a down year, and you different things going on, and then you're just searching for comfortability. And I think you go back to having Coach Cristobal on the staff, which he recruited me out of JUCO when he was at Oregon.
Okay, that's where I thought it might
Coach
have came
Harris,
from.
he recruited me when he was at Washington, and then Coach Zach Etheridge was with me at Auburn. I committed to him at Auburn. So, just the familiarity there was something that I was definitely, super comfortable with, and decided to make that decision.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, great comment from a former Snow College coach about you, Keionte. He's obviously a phenomenal player, but he's such an outgoing and inclusive type of individual. His teachers loved him, the food service ladies loved him, and the janitors loved him. So that's a great testament to your character, because it's the things you do when people aren't paying attention, how you treat the people who aren't in a position to help you directly. Right. They're in a position to support you, and that's an excellent observation, and it speaks very highly of your character.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's important to talk to people. You never know what someone's going through, at that time, in that moment. Just to say hello may change their day. So, I pride myself on speaking to everybody. Most of the ladies in the front, I call them best friend or something, just to make sure, check in with them. I feel like they do a good job of always checking on us. So, just to apply that favor back is something I pride myself on.
Yeah, it's natural to you.
Yeah.
I can see it. It definitely is. Now, if you watch the college football playoff, everybody, Agent Zero was freaking everywhere. He was hitting the shit out of everybody, right? Do you know you're 6 foot 195 though? Because you feel like you play like you think you're bigger than that.
Yeah, you got to play big at all times. Especially playing the nickel position. There's different things you got to do. As far as fitting in the box and different things like that. So you got to play big. You got to play strong. So definitely the confidence builds me up to like 6'3". So I just try to play confident.
Nickel all the way though, right? In the NFL, you're getting that. So, I know you could play outside. I get that. But, it just seemed to me watching you on TV, and like I told you, I hadn't studied you yet, really. But you seem like you're the perfect NFL nickel for what teams are looking for right now.
Yeah, I feel like, just a guy that's, being versatile. I feel like, at times the nickel has to be a linebacker, defensive end, corner, safety, all at different times. I feel like, So I feel like those are all the things, I pride myself on. So, I'm definitely looking forward to, I'll label myself as a defensive back. Don't want to never, label myself as one thing. I'm willing to play any position on the field for whatever team picks me.
Right.
What's your goal for the 40?
My goal is to run fast, man. At the end of the day, I want to put myself in the top calibers for the 40. And as far as who ran it, all the draftable guys. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
You're doing it all?
Yeah, I'm doing it all. Yeah.
All right, the U's coming. They're fighting this week. All right, I like that. Who growing up? Who was your favorite team? Who was your favorite player?
As far as what, like college or NFL?
NFL. Or you can give me both if you want.
I think I definitely got to go with the Seahawks. Like the Legend of Boom and what they were doing on defense was something that was very attractive to me as a kid. Seeing how they float around, like Cam Chancellor, and guys like that, like
ballers. Yeah. You were young prime right there. They were the best defense going.
Man, crazy.
So Seahawks, all those guys in the DBs there, you were down with them. Yeah, definitely.
You were a good receiver in high school, playing both ways. What caused you to go toward the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, well, actually, I was going to end up playing both sides at my junior college, or at least I was going to try to, but then, departed. But, just wanted to, see the longevity of a career. And, I feel like as far as, like, defensive backs, there's a lot of great receivers, you know what I'm saying? But as far as defensive backs, there's a lot of great defensive backs. But I just seen more, like, longevity on the defensive side as far as my career. And I'm glad I made that choice now.
How about, like, NFL life? What are you looking at? What do you hear from the evaluators? They usually tell you things they like, things that, can can you get better at this, right? What is that in your department there?
Yeah, so I feel like, a lot of teams love the versatility, I put on tape, and, they love the willingness to tackle, the willingness to fit in the box, the willingness to cover. And then as far as things, you can prove, I feel like, I play aggressive at times. So, when you play aggressive at times, you fly around. And I feel like I get to the spot of making the tackle, but sometimes you can see me out of control at times. And I feel like that's definitely something, but when you play fast and you play physical, that comes. But that's definitely something I'm looking to mold in my game of still keeping that same aggression of getting to that spot and getting to that tackle, but then controlling it at times to be able to complete the tackle.
Yeah, right.
Hey, we like to give everybody a chance to look into the camera and say hello to anyone they would like to say hello to.
I just want to say hello, Mom. Hello, family back home. Shout out San Diego. Man, I'm looking forward to, repping the city for sure.
What's up, Mom? What's up, San Diego?
Yes, sir.
The man right here, Keionte Scott. All right, before you go, because I can tell you know football and you pay attention. All right, don't give me any bullshit answer here.
All right, here we
Who's
go.
the best player you played against in college football?
The best player I played against in college football.
Right. Who's the guy that just when I said that, you were kind of like, damn, that guy was a baller?
Throughout my whole time?
Yeah, whatever you want.
All right, I'm going to go Bryce Young, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Man. I feel like, when we went up there to Tuscaloosa back in 23, I mean, just a guy that just knew every defense we were in. I felt like, doing different things. I feel like we're maybe not even on the supposed to be doing. He would motion out the back just to see if we're in man or zone, like little different things. But I feel like, he was a great player to play against. Just a guy that, I feel like, had all the answers to what we were trying to do.
All right. Well, you're good to see him again. He's coming
he
soon.
may be your teammate,
Yeah,
or he may be on the
Could
other
be
side of the
that
ball.
too.
We'll
Exactly.
find out soon when Keionte Scott enters the NFL. All right, thanks for some of your time. Congratulations on your
sir.
success.
Appreciate you guys
All
for
the
having
best
me.
in the draft. We'll be back with
Agent
more
Zero.
from the scouting
Sir.
combine.
Zip.
Go Canes.
Zip.
Appreciate you guys.
You're the man, dude.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.